Hello, welcome back. I'm going to continue to talk about my book, King Paimon, The Lord of the Endless Silence, The Lord of the Abyss. And as I've said, it is a grimoire. It is a magical book. That's the meaning of a grimoire. It deals with hidden knowledge or esoteric knowledge or alchemy or anything like that. You know, sometimes I don't like to give definitions, but at the same time, it has open meaning as well, no? It's not to say it's defined just because it's a grimoire. It is my own unique creation, so it's my own unique style. But, of course, it is a grimoire, no? It is very fitting to the subject, King Paimon, and what King Paimon symbolizes. And grimoires are very rare type of books. I think there are not even 100 all over the world, maybe less even. It is a very specific genre, and it does deal with magic or magical elements. And we live in a world where everyone laughs at the idea of magic because it sounds so childish, but it cannot be further than the truth. There's nothing childish about magic. Actually, it is high knowledge, and it's almost like the fox that is not able to reach the grapes says that the grapes are sour. But most of the people who give ideas or preconception about magical or magic in this way, they have no idea what they're talking about, and that's the obvious truth. And this book is for other type of people, other genre, other almost say creed. Those are the people who are able to see beyond things that others are not able to see or understand. And not every book is for everyone, and it's supposed to be like that. I'm not forcing my book on anyone's throat. It's just I like to put things in place as well. As I've said, there's nothing childish about speaking about magic. Who doesn't believe in magic, maybe they have to, if they're interested, of course, read a little bit more into the thematic, what it really means. And it doesn't even speak to say, well, I'm a writer and I deal with things that are unknown or esoteric or hidden secret knowledge, or things that maybe seem dark. It seems, well, I am a bad spirit, or I'm a bad influence in any way. I am more close to God than any person can be, to be honest. I'm very much connected to God, and since I'm a little child, so my obvious interest is just knowledge in general, and just for my books. And of course, there's no thematic that one cannot say I'm not allowed to enter in, or I'm not allowed to study because of the preconceptions of other people. If one lets others do their own thing, we would all be happier all together. But in general, people tend, if they don't understand something, to neglect it or to abandon it or to make it seem as if bad or something like that. But it is just a false lie, illusion, no? And if you call yourself a seeker of knowledge or of truth, you tend to stay away from those type of people. And one has to learn to listen to their own voice and to their own intuition and to their own journey, and not focus so much on the other. That's the truth. And, the others is almost insignificant to your own journey. It doesn't have to be, one doesn't have to give them so much importance. And a true seeker of knowledge will accept any idea, or will have at least interest in any type of idea, even if something that they never heard of, never dreamt of, never knew or know, But if you're really into knowledge, you're going to keep your ears open and eyes wide open, to understand more and to expand or evolve more as a human. There's always this type of, when we speak about knowledge, well, this knowledge is scientific, this knowledge is accepted, the one is not accepted. What a crap, what a main type of bullshit. Knowledge is knowledge. You cannot divide it in true knowledge, false knowledge. Everything is knowledge. So even the criteria that they start with is totally false. And there are some people who do this consciously, to how I say, create controversy in a negative way. And they are not beings of light, because a true seeker of knowledge is a seeker of light, and of course has interest in many different genres or domains. My domains is not just one. I have many different type of interests, and I have many different abilities, or many abilities. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But I'm not just rudimentary, just one aspect of my being. No, I am as all. No. My character or my being carries different aspects or different, I can even call them dimensions to me, When I talk about the book King Paimon, of course it is a book first for somebody who likes to read, and not everyone likes to read nowadays, but for those who like to read, this is a perfect book. In general, I have written already, to be honest, 40 books. I have published 21, and I'm still working, of course, to publish the others. My goal is to write at least 100 books, maybe even more, and I'm going to continue on my journey as I do. To write a book is not for the faint-hearted. It's a lot of work, a lot of study, a lot of research, a lot of time spending, but that's why you have to love it to be able to make it. You have to really love it, enjoy it, otherwise it's not going to function very well. And one has to have open mind. One has to be an artist, a creative mind. One has to, be able to open himself or herself to different dimensions. Because when you write, you work with the fantasy world. You work with the creation part of human spirit. And you cannot be a writer if you just see left, right, back and forth. You have to have, as I've said, different layers, different dimensions to your own personality. Maybe there are some writers there that are very fixed on one genre, which is fine, but in general, if one has to, or at least my definition for a writer, or how I want to work as a writer for me, for myself, it is to combine different elements of my knowledge and bring them together. That's what I like. I like to create new things that never existed. I don't like to copy anyone. I will never copy anything or anyone. I do get inspirations, or I get ideas, from things I've seen, or I witnessed, or I lived, or I've experienced, or read, or whatever. I take all of that, put them in a basket, and move myself on my journey further on. In general, I think there is very little knowledge about what it means to be a writer. There's very little interest in, there are someone say, well, he's a famous or she's a famous writer, and let's read, or let's give him a little interview, but no one really goes deeper into the writing process and what that really means and what is really happening there, Well, because it is in a way a large subject, and it is individual, of course, for each writer, independently different. But I like to talk about my experience as a writer, because I find it very interesting, and it's, to be honest, very exciting. I love when I get a new idea or a new book. Today I got an idea. I have written a book. I have written 4 books in the last 2 weeks. I'm a very fast writer. I love to write. I love to go fast on my text. I like to have it finished, ready. I just almost a feeling like I don't want to let the idea fly by. So I move in fast speed. That's how I do it. I don't linger months and months. But for the book Paimon, I did spend, of course, 3 months. It is a large book. 745 pages. It is a hymn form, so the text is almost like half. It is a hymn, it goes throughout the book. And but as I said, it's a large book. It did take me some type of special care on my side, to make it in the form that it is nowadays. It's available on Amazon. It's called King Paimon, Lord of the Endless Silence, the Lord of the Abyss, written by me, Anaiz Giulia. I'm the author of the book, and if you look on Amazon with my name, Anaiz Giulia, you can find the other books that I've written, published, and I always add new books to the list, of course. I'm always working and publishing my other books that I've written. And I love all my books, but King Paimon is my masterpiece. just because the thematic is so important for me, and it represents so much of who I am, to be honest. It's a subject that resonated absolutely 100%, 1000% with me, and I loved the visions that I got from King Paimon for the book. I love the story, I love everything about King Paimon and this book especially, and I call it my masterpiece. As I've said, no matter how many books I write, how good they are, it doesn't even matter. In some way or another, King Paimon will be always my best. And why? Because it's just my choice. There's no reason besides my choice. And I have different recordings in this playlist where I talk about different aspects of the book, of the mirror magic, or different magical aspects of King Paimon, who King Paimon is, what he represents, and so on. I did talk about my visions that he showed me. To be honest, I didn't talk about all my visions. The last 2 visions that I have received were very highly, in a way, cryptic, and at the same time very beautiful, and I want to keep them maybe all my life for myself, or maybe if I will tell my secrets to one person, it's fine, but I don't think I will speak openly about those visions. As I said, they were very beautiful, but it's something that Paimon has, almost like I had to be the witness of it, and it may follow in other books. I have written a book the last weeks, which is connected to one of those visions, called The Black Cube, and I think in one recording I did speak a little bit about that vision, and then I had another vision which I didn't talk at all about. Maybe I will not. I don't think so. I don't want to. Some things are meant to be kept secret. I like that. And in the same time, the book King Paimon was very much about revealing the truth, revealing who King Paimon truly is. There's always to say there's not a lot of information about King Paimon, first of all, and secondly, the information that I found was very limiting. It was just calling him a demon. In the Lesser Key of Solomon, the book of King Solomon, which is a great book, it's a grimoire as well, but it is injustice to call King Paimon a demon. And my book, it's almost like cleans out that mischief, or clears out that untruth, and creates a more realistic or a more true aspect of King Paimon. My abilities, I do have special abilities that I'm able to see in different realms, in different dimensions, and I have very creative mind and a very creative outlet, how it's called, to be able to gather information that is not for everyone, and it is something that is earned, It is a gift, and at the same time it has to be earned. It is sweat and blood, as well as a lot of work and a lot of evolutions of my own soul, my own being. For everyone who has chosen a spiritual path, doesn't mean all their life, but even a part of it understands me better. It is, sometimes knowledge is pain, and one has to go through different initiations to be able to raise above many things, to be able to go higher, to be able to unlock some doors, or to understand some information in other ways than other people don't. As I said, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's for those who are not scared to put the work in. It's for those who are not scared to go on a new path and trust their intuition, trust their own heart, and trust their own mind, where the path leads them to. I think King Paimon book is very helpful in general, because King Paimon is has a very strong personality, and he's a protector. He's a very wise teacher, and he's the one who protects and the one who gives that strength back. He's acknowledging you in that way, and you can acknowledge yourself as well and see yourself in a different light, or he can bring different aspects that makes you understand things that you may search the answer for. At the same time, some of the visions are left free to be interpreted, and I've had actually 3 visions that I'm still trying to understand. At the same time, the key is not to force things. In general, if, for example, I want to start to write a book, and I'm thinking, which title, no? Nothing comes to mind, maybe just a part. And then the secret is to just let it. Just start to write the book, and then the title will come to you. You know, so it's not about forcing truth to come or forcing something. It's about having the trust that everything at the right time. There's a reason why the name came later, no? Why you chose that and not the other. There's always a reason. There's always a continuum to the things that happen in our life. If one wants to go deeper, one can understand that it is absolutely the truth what I'm saying, and one can trace back their own biography and find answers in their own life of things that, you know, just you see then how things correlate to one another, and how magical that is, no? That aspect is actually. It is not random. A lot of things are not random. That we take for random, but they're not. And at the same time, King Paimon teaches a certain type of liberation from their own barriers or their own limits on our own human beliefs. No, he's one who frees, one who gives type knowledge. As I've said, knowledge is not only a knowledge. Knowledge is it's very important. We know why knowledge is important, but I would like to still talk about it. Why? At least for me, is because the more you know, the more elevated you are, and the more you're able to make sense of the world. At the same time, it is sometimes tricky, because it can be the other side of the coin. The more you know, the more higher or elevated knowledge you receive, and sometimes, you have to keep sane, you have to keep strong, you have to understand, what's reality and what is not real, or what is fantasy. And at the same time, sometimes the borders of reality and fantasy do combine, and sometimes it's not even the point to separate them, no? If that's the point of the exercise, or that's what you need at that certain time, a certain point in time, no? As I say, when you write a book in general, no, it's almost like you escape reality and you're in a different dimension, and you have to combine. I have to combine my normal life with my artistic life or my writer life, no? It's almost like a different personality of me, which is, stupid to say, because of course it's only me, but it does require different knowledge that I carry. It's like I'm taking things from a different part of me that I'm able to bring to light. That's a beautiful aspect for me as well. At the same time, Paimon teaches time is very relative. One can escape time. One can fly, almost say one can conquer time in a beautiful way, meaning that one is above time, and one is a free bird, a free spirit, and we are allowed to enter any realm what you want, and we are able to travel and use our imagination and our fantasies in a way that is beautiful, as a child does. I've had crazy ideas for books, even if I cannot call them books, but at least stories. Since I'm a child in school now, it's like, well, the teacher will say, write a story, and I will write something that no one ever thought of. I will write about some crazy alien planet story. And to be honest, I don't even know from where that came, because I didn't really read about it. As I said, we are connected to a higher conscious, and it's almost like a pool of wisdom, a pool of truth, which one can swim in, and one can, find himself or herself at home. It is a beautiful place to be at home, in the pool of knowledge, in the pool of wisdom, in the pool of truth. And, you can be alone there and can enjoy and create whatever you like. It is a higher dimension where the voices of those people who have to say something against anything, it doesn't even matter. They haven't probably written any book in their life, so they cannot compare, in that way, of the knowledge or of the experience of what that means. It's just a way, it's almost like the eye is tiny, or the eye can be very wide. No, the same with the mind. Mind can be very constraining, or mind can be free and very, very large and very pertaining and very, how you say, almost like big enough, no, to conquer different elements, or big enough to enter in waters and no one has did. There's no limit in that. Should not be no limit in that. And it is part of our human nature too, no, to seek the unseekable, or to seek the unknown, or to seek the parts of ourselves, or of our nature, of the meaning of life, or the meaning of anything, no, in places that maybe seem a little different, than our normal life. And there are so many different aspects of King Paimon. I think I will be talking all my life in these recordings. I'm going to continue, of course. It is a big pleasure for me to connect to my book, King Paimon, and to Paimon in general, and to you, as my listener, or anyone who listens to me. I thank you so much for your interest. I hope that my words make sense and are help to you. At the same time, I do recommend to buy the book. It's not just for me to sell it. It's not necessarily a marketing stunt. It is really a wish of mine, no? If it can be helpful for someone, or if someone is interested in new type of knowledge or any type of enjoyment in reading a beautiful book, I definitely recommend King Paimon, or to be honest, any of my books. There are at the moment 21 books published on Amazon under my name, Anais Giulia, and I'm going to publish every month 4 new ones, which I have already finished, and I'm going to continue my list, as I've said, to up 100 books. But to be honest, it could be even more than that. I love writing, and I will be writing all my life, so it is my pleasure as always. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, bye.